Yep.
Thank you all for coming. Hope you're having fun, enjoying the bugs in your mouth and eyes. Don't let them distract you, because the first rule is safety is paramount. So safety above all things. So if anything happens and we need to get someone out of here, the van is facing the way we need to go. The keys are in the van on the driver's side seat. There's also a fire extinguisher near the truck and a first aid kit near that truck, the front left tire. And in that green bag right there, there's also first aid equipment in that. And I have first aid equipment in this right here. There's 2 phones in the van, so if anything happens, I have a phone. Well, she has my phone. I have a phone in this pocket. She has my phone, and her phone is also in the van.
And walkie-talkie.
Yeah, and we have walkie-talkies. Any questions on that? There's water right here, so if you feel like you're gonna pass out, drink water. If you don't feel like you're gonna pass out, drink water. Because once you start feeling like you're gonna pass out, you're gonna pass out. So drink water. Before we start shooting, we have to go over some range commands. If you hear the word ceasefire, like this, ceasefire! Once you hear that, you yell the same thing. And if you hear someone else say it, you say it. So we'll practice. Ceasefire!
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 Ceasefire means stop shooting. Clear? So if you hear ceasefire, that means stop shooting. So if you want to just, put your gun on safe and then place it down, or point it in a safe direction, or elevate it up, yes.
The only gun I don't know how to put on safety is the pistol.
Glocks don't have safety, but we'll go over all of these. As far as what they call weapon safety rules, the first weapon safety rule is treat every weapon as if it were loaded. Even if you know it's unloaded, treat it as if it is. Because you can unload it, put it down, walk away, someone can load it, you can come back, thought you unloaded it, and then start using it like, you unloaded it. Meanwhile, someone else already loaded it. So that's the first rule, treat every weapon as if it were loaded. The second rule is never point your weapon at anything you do not intend to shoot. Third safety rule is keep your trigger straight and off the trigger until you are ready to fire. So this is what that looks like. With your finger,
your trigger finger.
Your finger straight and off the trigger. Straight and off the trigger, right? So this is obviously clear. The bolt is locked to the rear, so you can see nothing's in it. There's no magazine inserted. This is considered, like this, a condition 4 weapon. So when you hear me say keep your finger straight and off the trigger, you keep it up here. See how you can see through it? Not like this. Because if you get scared, oh my God, you just pull the trigger. And you could possibly murder someone.
Or yourself.
Which they call involuntary manslaughter, and you can still go to jail. So treat every weapon as if we're loaded. Obviously, it's pointed in a safe direction. No one is above me, so no one's gonna get shot. This is also a safe direction. No one's gonna get shot. See how I'm not aiming it at my own foot? Right? Keep it pointed in a safe direction. Keep your finger straight and off your trigger until you're ready to fire. Keep your weapon on safe until you intend to fire. These Glocks don't have safeties, but we'll go over all the safeties on all of these. So on these ARs, which just means assault rifle, the safety is right here. It literally says safe right on it. There's also another rule, know your target and what lies beyond it. So if bear's not on the leash and we start shooting, we should know if bear's in that direction. Or if someone's using the bathroom, you should know to go in the opposite direction of where we're shooting. Because if you shoot someone by an accident, again, by not knowing what's beyond your target, that's still considered involuntary manslaughter. Same thing if you're in your home and someone breaks into your house and you shoot through a wall in your house and it goes through your neighbor's house and they get hit, that's your fault. So again, I'll go over the safety rules. Treat every weapon as if it were loaded. Never point your weapon at anything you do not intend to shoot. Keep your finger straight and off the trigger until you are ready to fire. Keep your weapon on safe until you intend to fire. And number 4 kind of switches between know your target and what lies beyond it. and keep your weapon on safe until you intend to fire. So you might see online or hear different people say the fourth rule differently, but it's all the same. Right? Any questions? Are we sure? All right. So you might also hear people on the range say, you know, make a condition 4 weapon. This is considered a condition 4 weapon. Condition 4 means there's no magazine in the magazine well, there's no round in the chamber, the weapon is on safe, and the ejection port cover is closed. That's condition 4.
That's where the bullet comes out?
Yes. Yeah, the shell casing. The bullet comes out here. The casing comes out here. This is called the ejection
but they
port
pass
cover.
through there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is a condition 4 weapon. If I can get my magazine out.
You have 55 in the front.
I know. I'm trying to get this one.
Okay.
It's hard to do with gloves.
Hey, bothering you too, please.
Oh, I want to show you what it looks like with 5 rounds.
Remember that time I was like, let's bring the tiki torch so we can burn the citronella so the bugs will stay away.
They're going to eat you alive.
This bug spray right there.
Oh,
There's a,
You don't have a jacket,
you can
right?
miss me with that.
Ponte eso.
No, it's not gonna do nothing.
Yes, it will.
They
We'll
still,
stay away
they
from
still
it.
will feed on me.
ready? So this is a condition 4
That's
weapon.
it.
This right here is condition 3. That means there's a magazine inserted, no round in the chamber, weapon on safe, ejection port cover closed. Condition 2 does not apply to this because it doesn't have a cocking mechanism or what you call a hammer like on his 1911. So condition 2 doesn't apply to this. This would be condition 1. Magazine inserted, round in the chamber, weapon on safe, ejection port cover closed. This would be condition 0. Magazine inserted, round in the chamber, ejection port cover closed, weapon on fire.
That's a lot to remember.
It's simple.
Just remember, 0 is ready to shoot. 4, there's nothing in it.
Any questions on that? Do you want me to go over it again?
Yeah, I think you should.
This right now, after you do your check, does everyone know how to lock this to the rear and do a safety check to make sure it's not loaded?
You heard that? You heard that?
somebody
Yeah,
else
someone's
is
shooting.
fighting.
All right, so to
Practicing.
for assault rifles to check to see if there's a round in the chamber, you pull the charging handle back. You use your thumb, right? Keep your muzzle pointed in a safe direction. I like to use my leg as a brace because it's easier. Some people don't, but it's just easier. So pull that back. You press this bolt lock down. Literally just press it down and then let go. And you see that it stays to the rear. And then you push this forward.
Never put your finger in there.
Yeah, then you do a visual inspection. You look to see if there's brass in there, which is, it will be obviously to tell because it's around. And you'll obviously see that there's nothing in here.
What's brows?
Brass.
Brass.
There's a bullet. Yeah. The
That's
casing
the
of the
metal that
bullet
it's
is made
made out
of
of.
brass. So they also call this a brass check. Obviously there's no magazine in it, right? So you see that there's nothing in it. You press this, send the bolt home, and you see that it's clear. Most of the time if you're gonna hand it to someone and you do that, you'll do this. You'll look, you'll say clear, and then you'll give it to someone else, right? Obviously if you're doing it for yourself, you don't have to say it, but if you want to get into the practice or the habit of doing it, then just say clear to yourself. So we get that? Pull the charging handle back, press the bolt lock, literally just like that. You don't got to do it hard, just like that. And you feel it, hit it, and that's it.
That is to see that it's empty.
Yeah. And then to send it back, put the bolt back forward, you just press that. Right, so now this is a condition 4 weapon and we just verified that because we just checked to see if there was a round in the chamber. And obviously, visually, there's no magazine in it, so it's condition 4, right? So condition 4, again, is no magazine inserted, no round in the chamber, bolt forward, weapon on safe, and this thing closed right here. That's called the ejection port cover. This is condition 3. So what's the difference?
The magazine is in.
Exactly. So condition 3 is just magazine inserted, no round in the chamber, weapon on safe. So the only difference is that there's a magazine inside of it.
That still has to be closed or not?
Yeah. Thank you. Right. Condition 2 don't apply. So condition 4 is this. Condition 3 is this. Condition 2 don't apply. That's condition 1. Get it? Simple,
All right,
right?
forgot. What's 2?
There's no
Condition 2 don't apply to this.
To rifles,
Two's
only
only
to
to-
pistols.
Okay.
So what's the difference between condition 4 and condition
Those
3?
pistols. I'm sorry. Moreno, can you show the type of pistol that condition 2 works for? Yeah, you see the hammer? Hold on, I'm gonna zoom on the hammer. There we go. Thank you.
So what's the difference between condition 4 and condition 3? You said it earlier.
The magazine in?
Yeah. What's the difference between condition 3 and condition 1? Real simple.
One in what?
Between condition 3 and condition 1.
The magazine is in. And
Yep.
clock it back.
Yep, and there's a round in the chamber. That's literally it. So condition 4, completely empty. No bullets in the chamber, no magazine in. Condition 3 is there's a magazine in. That's the only difference. Condition 2 don't apply, and condition 1 just means you put a round in the chamber. That's it.
And condition 0,
Condition 0 just means you're ready to shoot.
you took it off safe.
Yeah. So I'll ask again. What's the difference between condition 4 and condition 3?
4 is ready to shoot.
No.
0 is to shoot.
Yeah.
Ready to
Yeah. I forgot.
You got the
said
answer.
4
You got
and-
all of them right.
4 and what?
4 and 3.
shoot. Again, the same ones.
All right. The magazine's in.
In what condition?
3.
Yep. So what's the difference between 4 and 1?
1 is almost ready to fire. You just have to take off safety.
So it has the safety on.
Yeah.
0 would be you gotta take it. Safety.
Condition 4 is there's no magazine inserted.
Yep, and no round in the chamber. Condition 3 is a magazine inserted. Condition 2 does not apply to a rifle. Condition 1 means there's a magazine inserted and a round in the chamber. See how simple that is?
Yeah.
It's not hard, it's not complicated, it's not confusing. It's just literally steps.
Yeah, you just have to
I don't
memorize
know,
the steps.
0.
By the way, that sounded like an auto for sure.
They're not illegal out here.
Oh,
Again, I'll go over the safety rules just in case. Treat every weapon as if it were loaded. Never point your weapon at anything you do not intend to shoot. Keep your weapon on safe until you intend to fire. Know your target and what lies beyond it.
So for today, what we're gonna do as well is after you're done shooting, you pull this back, the bolt back, put it in place, pull the magazine out, and make sure that there's nothing in it. Let somebody else check it, then you could turn around with your weapon. Don't turn around unless it's clear. Just keep it facing this way the whole time. Even if you're not gonna shoot anymore, just make sure. And if you're not gonna shoot anymore, just take it out, pull it back, and show somebody else, put it down.
Yeah.
So
So-
there's no accident.
It's important to know the weapons conditions, because if you're shooting and something happens back here and we need to make sure everything's safe, I'll say go condition 4. So you should know to take everything out, take your magazine out, make sure there's no bullets in the chamber, put the weapon on safe, and put it down. Right? That's what it's for. Because remember, the first rule is safety is paramount. So you have to know the weapon safety rules and the weapons conditions. So that way, again, if I say go condition 4, you know to take everything apart. Right? Any questions on any of the safety rules? Any questions on any of the weapon's conditions? None? No questions? Are we sure? 1,000% positive. All right. What's weapon safety rule number 1?
Safety.
No, the weapon safety rules. That's just rule number 1 is safety is paramount. But the weapon safety rules, what's number 1? Treat every
gun like
arm.
treat every weapon as if it were loaded, or treat every gun as if it has a bullet in it. What's rule number 2?
Don't point it at anything.
Never point your weapon at anything you do not intend to shoot. And I'm doing this redundantly on purpose because these are very important. Because if you get shot, there's a chance you violated one of these rules.
Or if you shoot somebody.
Yeah. So when I say never point your weapon at anything you do not intend to shoot, that means don't point it at each other, don't point it at the dog, and don't point it at any of the vehicles because we need those to get back. And don't point it at any of the tents because there might be someone in the tent. Right? Simple.
Which you're supposed to always point your firearm down range. This is down range. So it should never be pointed this way.
Some
That
people
way or that way.
just want to see through the cool scope and end up pointing at all kinds of crazy things.
All right, so with all of you who have new guns with some type of optic, whether it be, well, basically just the rifles and the sniper rifle, the first thing we need to do is BZO it. BZO means battle sight zero. It means you shoot it before you actually engage into combat or anything. You shoot it to make sure that wherever you're aiming, that's where the bullet's going. So to do that, we're going to do it at the 36-yard line, which is from right here in the prone position on the pillow, which we're going to demonstrate with this Moore over here first with his rifle, because he just got a new magnifier on his rifle. And we're going to shoot at those boxes over there. That's at the 36-yard line. I was able to determine that based on the rangefinder right there. So again, we're going to shoot. Normally to BZO a rifle, you shoot 3 well-aimed shots first. You go inspect the target. You see if you need to make any adjustments on your optic or your iron sights. You come back, shoot 3 more to see where the grouping is. Make any other adjustments again if you need to. Come back, shoot 4 more rounds, observe it, and then make your final adjustments, and that's it. And with a lot of these scopes, if you buy them online, it'll tell you which yard line to BZO them at. So as an example, for this reticle right here, you BZO it at the 36-yard line. For this sniper rifle, you BZO it at the 100-yard line. And when you get the optics, most of the time on the box it comes in, or as an example on here, it tells you how many clicks to make per inch, which you'll see us do it in real time. So you'll see how simple it is. I know it sounds complicated, but it's absolutely not. Any questions on that?
I still say I only know 0.
Do you know the safety rules?
Yes.
All right, cool. That's fine.
I hope so.
All right, so are we ready to start?
Yeah.
We're going to start. I'm going to show you how to BZO a rifle using him as an example. He's going to be shooting from the prone position. Some of the shooting techniques that you need to know about is something called a natural respiratory pause. A natural respiratory pause is when you breathe. So just pay attention to how you're breathing right now. You'll inhale and then exhale, right? And then right before you inhale again, there's a pause. So just breathe and pay attention to your lungs.
Why?
I'm going to explain it to you.
The purpose of that
So
is
he's nice and steady.
Hold on. I want them to feel it first, and then I'll explain it to them. So let me know if you feel it within your body.
I do. I also learned it from Black Ops, so.
Yeah. See. So all right, cool. So a natural respiratory pause is right before you inhale again. So when you inhale, and then you exhale, right before you inhale again, your body stops completely. It's like a split second. That's when you're supposed to shoot, because your body's not moving. Nothing's moving. You understand what I'm saying? So the chances of you hitting what you're aiming at while you're not moving at all is higher. So one of the fundamentals to marksmanship is shooting in your natural respiratory pause. Another fundamental of marksmanship is keeping your eye the proper distance from your reticle, whether it be your iron sights or your optic, to make sure you have something called clear sight picture. And you'll see this better once you're actually aiming down range. Another fundamental of marksmanship is that your target should be blurry. So for you, you have iron sights. So on your iron sights, this is called a front sight post. This is called a rear sight aperture. The circle, this is what you're aiming through, the circle should be around this, and this part should be in the middle of the circle. Your eye should be focused on the tip of this, and your target should be blurry, because this is going to determine where your bullet's going, not the target. So when you're aiming through these iron sights, this has to be in the very middle of this circle, right? So it's going to look something like this, right? So if I'm aiming, and, well, I'll do it wrong because I just naturally do it right. If I'm aiming and it doesn't look right, if I don't see my front sight post properly, I'm going to adjust my eye relief to make sure that this entire front sight post is within this rear sight aperture, right? And what I'm doing here is another fundamental of marksmanship. I'm getting what they call a cheek weld, or chickmunk cheek. So you know how chickmunks put stuff in their cheek? Your cheek should kind of overlap. See that? Well, I have a beard, so it's hard to see, but your cheek should basically rest on it like this. Right, so that's another fundamental of marksmanship. Another thing is keep a high, firm pistol grip, because you really want to control this thing. Another rule is keep the buttstock in the pocket of your shoulder. You don't want it on bone, because if you shoot on bone, it's going to move. You want it in the meaty part of your shoulder, so that way when it shoots, it doesn't move as much. You get what I'm saying? Another rule that you need to know about is never shoot with your bone on another bone. So if you're in the kneeling position, I'm not going to put my elbow bone on my kneecap, because it's a bone, it's going to move. So I'm going to try to put it on the meaty part of my thigh, like this. So that way when it shoots, it doesn't move as much, right? There's also, you know, this would be the high kneeling. So you see how I'm high? This right here, I haven't done this in years. It's called the low kneeling. And you're gonna put your tricep as front as possible on your knee, right? I don't recommend you doing this unless you're flexible, because it hurts. This, of course, would be considered a medium kneeling. So high, medium, low. This is still considered a kneeling position, not sitting. Get it? Mm-hmm. And basically, you shoot at your comfort level. So if you think you're better at the high kneeling, shoot at the high kneeling. If you think you're better at the low kneeling, shoot at the low kneeling.
Oh, how about lying down on the floor?
We're going to go over that too.
Oh, I like that one.
Another shooting position is sitting, which is cross leg. Again, you want to make sure elbow, no bone on bone contact. It's always elbow to muscle or elbow to meat, right? So if you're going to shoot in this sitting position, which is the next most stable position besides prone, you want to put your elbow on a meaty part of your leg. And then this elbow also on the meaty part of your leg. And again, what they teach us in the military to make sure you have a proper hold on your rifle is they teach you thumb screw, high pocket of shoulder, reach out, grab air, high firm pistol grip, chipmunk cheek, rotate down, and then you make adjustments to whatever your comfort level is. And as an example, if you're aiming down your reticle and you notice that your muzzle's down, there's a few things you can do. One thing you can do is bring this leg back. If you bring this leg back, you'll see my left leg naturally goes higher. So if you want to raise your muzzle, you do that. If you want to lower it, then you take your right leg and put it forward on your left leg. And you'll see, once I do that, my muzzle goes down again. You get what I'm saying? You could also adjust your elbow. You could also adjust how you're holding it, right? If you want to hold the hand guard, or if you want to hold the magazine low, which you can see, once I hold the hand guard, it's lower. If I adjust my hand position, the muzzle gets higher. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're aiming, right, and your target, you see that you're aiming too low, or right now too high, I would adjust either my hand or my leg. See that? And you'll see, once you start to shoot, you'll see how drastic this is, right? And then of course the prone position. You want to show them the prone on the wood. So if you want to come over here, I'll give you an empty magazine too. So you want to put this empty magazine in. See, this empty, right? So the few things you need to know about the prone: make sure that your body is right behind the weapon. So that way, when it shoots.
Hold on, I'm gonna go. Should I go on that side?
Yeah, that's fine.
You want to point that up for safety? The
If
safety
you point
thing?
the weapon up. She's trying to go by.
Okay.
There. Go over there.
He's fine. Come.
Well, he's right in the way.
Sure. Come.
Fair move. Good boy. Stay. All right, go ahead. All right, so a few things you need to know. Your body should be right behind the rifle. That way your body absorbs all of the recoil and you're not moving as much, right? What he's doing right now is called the open leg. This, some shooters find this stable. Other shooters find the cocked leg better, which the cocked leg is just this. Just like that. Or, you know,
That's how I sleep.
like that. It's just your leg is cocked. Whatever makes you feel more comfortable. Things you need to notice or pay attention to is that your magazine should not touch the ground, because that's where your bullets are being fed from. So if your magazine's touching the ground and you're shooting and this is moving, you're gonna get a malfunction. So the best thing to do is, obviously we're dealing with a crappy shooting surface, but we can use one of the tires so that way it's actually stable. So let me get one over with. Shooting on a stable surface is important to your BZO because, again, this is going to determine your accuracy in the long run. So you want to shoot on a surface that's as stable as possible. Right? You want to put the magazine back in? See that? Magazine's not on the floor. He's using the tire to stabilize his rifle, not his own arm strength. Because if you ever held something, when your arms get tired, guess what happens? You start to shake. So if you're aiming and you're shaking, guess what you're gonna do? Miss. So he's utilizing this stable position to hold his rifle while he does, he utilizes his proper fundamentals of marksmanship to make sure that he's gonna hit whatever it is he's aiming at. So again, proper eye relief, high firm pistol grip. What was the other one? I'm drawing a blank right now. Sight alignment, sight picture. So again, your front sight post should be in the middle of your rear sight aperture, and your front sight post should be clear, and your target should be blurry. And then there's, of course, proper trigger control, which you want to use the meaty part of your finger to pull the trigger, and you want to pull it straight back to make sure that your rifle's not moving at all. And that's basically it. Any questions on that? All right, so we'll start with his rifle. So if you guys want to put your ear protection in, so that way you don't go deaf. He's going to load up his rifle so we can BZO it. And once he shoots his first 3 rounds, we're all going to go to look at the target to see what he's doing, to see his grouping. You'll see us make the proper adjustments, come back, shoot again, go back, adjust if we need to, come back, shoot again, go back, adjust if we need to, and then he should be good. Right. You want me to record? All right. So, can you hold the dog? Yeah. Everyone got their ear protection in? Cool. You can bring the chair up more if you want. And there's also binoculars right here on the table. You ready? Yeah. All right, so the range is ready. You clear hot, go ahead and go condition 3. And then get in your stable prone position. Take your magazine out and just put the bolt, send the bolt home. So that way. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Take the magazine out. There you go. Go ahead and go condition 3 and then get in your natural aim position in the prone.
What'd you say?
Your natural aim position in the prone. I'll let you stay in that position for a few seconds. Let me know when you're comfortable.
I'm gonna aim for the bottom.
Bottom left?
Bottom right.
Bottom right? Let me know when you're good.
Good.
All right, go ahead and go condition 1. The bolt, then go home. All right, so just take 3 well-aimed shots whenever you're ready. Ceasefire, ceasefire.
Ceasefire.
Condition 4 weapon. Is it on safe?
Yep.
All right, you clear. All right, so now we're going to walk up to the target and we're going to see how he did. You said bottom right, right?
Bottom right.
Well, you shot the wood. No, I'm playing. Imagine. All right. We all see this?
That was good.
See that? This is what you want. This was probably some type of slip. Did you feel that?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I think that was my first shot.
What did you do?
You breathe.
I don't know.
Was your so this is what you have to pay attention to, because I asked him, did you feel it? He knew he felt like he did something wrong, which means it was one of the fundamentals of marksmanship that he made a mistake on, and he knew it, and that's fine. That's how you get better. So what he did was he probably realized what he did wrong. It was probably the way he was holding it. Maybe he was what you call muscling the weapon, which means he was maneuvering it instead of letting it relax on the tire. Or maybe this was when he pulled the trigger, he probably pulled it to the left. And if you ever notice your hand, once you pull, these fingers clench. So if you do this and then pull it, try it, do it with your hand. Act like you're gonna pull a gun. You feel your other fingers gripping, right? So if you do that, that means your weapon's gonna go to the left. Down and to the left. So down and to the left. See that? So it could be his trigger control. But whatever it was, he corrected it. So based on this, we're not going to make any adjustments. We're going to shoot 3 more rounds to see what happens. And then we're going to come inspect it again.
That was good.
I'm gonna use the magnifier.
Got a hitter over here.
I'm gonna use the magnifier
All right.
this time. Or should I use it, do 3 more like this, then go to the magnifier?
I would say do 3 more without it. And then use it. And it's crazy because we BZO'd it with your red dot in a whole different position. You know? But again, you're a good shooter, so it don't really matter where it is. All right, so go ahead and get in your stay condition 4. Get in a comfortable prone position. Let me know when you're ready, and I'll give you the command to go condition 3. Go ahead and send the boat home. The range is not ready. All right, the range is ready. Let me know when you're good.
I'm good.
Also realize the same bugs that's in your face, they're in his face too. So get used to ignoring them. Because if you're ever in a combat situation, there's going to be a lot of shit bothering you. You got to pee. You probably shit yourself. You probably already peed yourself. You can't move your position because your teammates are counting on you, you know? Especially if you got that sniper right there. You're going to have to deal with peeing on yourself. Right? So go ahead and go condition 3. So what I'm doing is giving him time to just relax, aim down range, get comfortable, control his breathing, let the bugs fly into his eyes. Go ahead and go condition 1. Yeah, eat a few bugs. So again, you're gonna aim bottom right target, 3 rounds. 3 well-aimed shots. Fire when ready. Cease fire!
Fire.
Condition 4 weapon. Make sure next time he shoots, I want you all to see his back. Because I want you to pay attention to how... Clear. I want you to pay attention to how you'll visually see him exhale. He'll shoot, and then you'll see his lungs fill up with air again. And you'll see him taking his natural respiratory pause. Excuse me. To the left. So these were 1, 2, and then 3 were your last 3 shots. What'd you do?
I don't know. I think I still need to move it.
What do you think? Yours was 2 clicks to an inch, right?
Also, I breathe in. When I breathe out, when I breathe in, the dot goes up. When I breathe out, it comes down.
Where does it go when it goes down? Are you aiming? You're aiming right here, right?
Which is still left.
Yeah.
Even on the circle.
Yeah.
It's still left. So maybe like two clicks.
2 clicks is an inch.
Yeah, so move it an inch to the right.
Let's do 3 clicks. All right. So we'll show you how to make the adjustments on his red dot.
And maybe a click down.
Nah, not down. Because the shots that you're landing to the left are where they need to be as far as being down. So I think if you just make the left, excuse me, 3 clicks to the right, I think you'll be fine. So if you want to come over here to see how he makes his adjustments, we're probably just going to use a piece of brass somewhere. If you see any. Oh, there we go. So based on his shots being to the left, we need to make 3 clicks, click adjustments to the right, which for this specific reticle, 1 click is 1/4 of an inch, right? Or 1/2 inch.
I think it's half.
So 1 click is 1/2 inch. So we need to go over probably like 1.5 inches. So if 1 click is 1/2 inch, you need to make 3 clicks if you want to go over 1.5 inches. You get it?
Right here it says right. It has an R
And an arrow.
and an arrow.
So if you turn it counterclockwise, that's adjusting it to the right. 1, 2, 3. See how easy that is?
Okay, so what was that?
This is so because where he's aiming, you see how he's hitting. He's aiming dead center, but his bullets are left. So what he needs to do is adjust his red dot to the right, because he's shooting fine, which means his reticle's off because we made an adjustment on the reticle. So he has to adjust the reticle, not himself, because the goal is to shoot to you, aim to your natural position. So you don't want to adjust your body to conform to the red dot. You want to adjust the red dot to conform to how you're shooting. You get it? All right. Where's Bear? Huh?
In the van.
All right, cool. All right, just let me know when you're ready. Actually, I won't give you any commands. Just go condition 3 and condition 1 whenever you're ready.
Weapon hot.
So hold on. Take 2 shots without the magnifier, then use the magnifier and take 2 more shots and then cease fire.
I'm gonna need an extra round. I only have 3.
I'm gonna take one out of your 30 round mags. Seeing his natural respiratory pause? Pay attention to how his back, you know, once he inhales, his back will go up. Once he exhales, it'll go down. Then he'll shoot. Ceasefire! Be clear. It's on safe? Huh? Put it on safe? Cool. Cool. It ain't gonna do anything on its own anyway. So now it's important to note that although at this distance, it doesn't seem like the distance between his shots to the left and shots to the right is a drastic amount of space. But the further you go out, the more that space is going to be. All right, so you have a good group. These are one of your last few shots right here. This one, and that's all I can tell right now because we didn't mark them. So what do you think? You think it's you? Gotta be you. It's nothing else. It's always the shooter. It's always the shooter. The firearm's gonna do whatever it's gonna do. It's gonna function the way it's gonna function.
But I'm aiming that middle, even with the magnify.
So based on your adjustments, these 3 out of the 4 are those last rounds, if I'm not mistaken. So it did come over a little bit. But we'll let her shoot, him shoot.
Click mine's 3 more.
And do 3 more?
Shoot.
All right. Any questions on this process? You see how...
He's still good.
Right?
He's still gonna hit that head.
All right, cool. So that's basically how you BZO your rifles. Same thing for any optic, whether it be a sniper rifle with the scope, iron sights. It's the same concept. You shoot at the yard line specific to your optic or iron sight or reticle. You make your adjustments. You go back. You shoot again. You observe your shots. make your adjustments, go back, shoot again. And I think it's best to do it 3 times because you can do this all day, get tired, and then make like 50,000 adjustments and still be off. Instead of accepting that you're doing something wrong. You get what I'm saying? And that's not a bad thing. This is what we're here for, to get better. Right? So no questions on that process? You want to go first? Him first? All right. Yeah, we'll do that. I'm just trying to end this video real quick. You going first? You want to coach him?